is a very odd day and odd timing of coming on the live streams. The reason is I decided to just test out different schedule of the timings to see which one perform well, as well as how am I going to handle throughout my schedule. Before even starting for my day, I had a good idea of what if I come on the live streams and list down the list of tasks that I had to do. Then on the next day, before going into the live streams, I would recap the yesterday's live stream to ensure that whether I have completed the task. So first thing first, I'm gonna just list out the task that I will do throughout the day, and after that I will also tell the reasons behind of doing those tasks at earliest in the starting of day, so that you will gonna have a good understanding of why am I doing that task, what is the main reasons behind of doing specific goals, specific work at that moment. The first thing which I decided to do exercise, because if your body is not fit enough, then you could not able to concentrate on any kind of task, whether it is study, having fun with your friends, wife, girlfriend, you would not feel comfortable. What is more crazy is if you skip the exercise for multiple days in a row, then eventually you will build a habit of not doing exercise. And if you think about the long term, then your body would not get used to the exercise which you do in the past, and maybe in 2 3 or 4 years later you will end up having some heart related problems. And another reasons which also I give more priority into the exercise is because one of my cousin brother, he passed away because of heart attack, and I have seen many people in front of my own eyes due to a lack of exercise. Their body shape is absolutely out of control. What is more crazy is over the time they build an obesity. So that is the reasons I decided, you know what, 3 day at least do some running exercise or jogging, and then another 7 days or maybe 3 days just doing push up, pull up, and those stuff. Hey, live, what, live via Abby Blocks. How are you doing? So the second one is shopping and cooking my own food. Because bro, if you live bachelor by yourself, then you have to do so many stuff like cooking your own dinner, lunch, breakfast, everything by yourself. And last few days I didn't even eat anything. Yeah, I stopped saying that word. And today when my roommate, he just wake up, we decided, you know what, let's cook some of the beef for our next 3 or 4 days. So I had to go outside and buy some beef. The amount that we are planning to buy is around 5 pound, at least 5 pound, or around 4.5 pound, because the dishes which we have is not that much big enough. Hi bro, hey, oh, I can see your message. Just let me know from where you're watching from, because right now in NYC time is 6:11 p.m. I don't usually come in the live stream at that specific time, but today I decided, you know what, just come on the live stream and let's list out the task that I'm gonna do, and then eventually maybe next day I can recap the video that I have created today to ensure that whether I have completed that task. So that is the reasons for the shopping. I had to go and buy tomatoes, beef, as well as some chili, and then ultimately do some study which means related to cybersecurity or some of the goals which I like, and give at least 4 or 5 good hours so that I can able to grasp the concept much more easily. Another important informations which I have, me too. Yo, you are from Mexico or what? I see you can speak. Hey, cool, Asif. How are you doing? From where you are watching? Just let me know. And one of the important lessons which I have learned in past few weeks, whenever you are starting of the day, bro, do not listen to any kind of message if somebody send it to your WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram. If it is important, then open up, just look at it, listen it. But if it is not, then don't randomly just open up those message. And some of the message you don't know whether it would be positive or negative, and as a result of that, once you heard a negative message, or some one of your family member or one of your friends who is just agonizing you through the message, so as a result of that message, it might ruin your entire day. So that is the reasons at the starting of the day, all things need to be closed it up and just focus at one specific task which is more priority than any other things. And again, remember that if it is emergency situations like saving your family member or somebody else, you have to just listen to their message as well as pick up their calls. Because I still remember one time I was working and suddenly one of my nephew, he just called me up, and generally I don't pick up the call at that time. But once I pick up the call, I can see there is one of the homeless guy picture front of the camera. And the reason he was showing me that picture is because he saw somebody in the YouTube or somewhere, they're doing the prank call to their family relatives, and the same thing which he was trying to play with me. So when I saw that things, and eventually it hit on my mind, holy moly, somebody's kidnapping my own family member, let's call the police or let's call someone. But thank God, once I called them back multiple different times, to his mother as well as to his father, then I realized that this dude, he was just playing around. So ultimately I just told his mother to make sure, tell your son to understand these situations are not funny. It might lead to a serious consequences. Because if I could call 911, then the police would end up into his house, and then eventually he might get fined because of those prank calls. Because one time I have heard from the YouTube, there is one of the girl, she called the 911, and after she called the 911, she was just playing around and giving some kind of random descriptions by sitting at home. And since she's very small, maybe 7 or 8 years old, and she was thinking that if you call someone, nobody can track you down. But that is not the case. We are living in 2025. So in 2025, even if you call 911, 911 dispatcher might be asking, hey, which location you are calling from? What do you see from outside? Tell me the cross street. But you have to keep in mind that 911 dispatcher can also track your locations if the things got escalated. So let's say in a scenario, somebody kidnap you, and after they kidnap you and you call 911, and then making a distressing sound or distressing calls. So in those situations, even if the phones hang up, they might escalate the situations. And once the things get escalated, they eventually gonna track down which tire and which specific locations the phone signals came from. So based on those, the police, they track down the phone signals. After they track down the phone signals, it led the signals to one of the houses into a remote locations. When the police, they arrive into their destinations, they can see her father, who was gardening and giving some water into their gardens. And once the police showed up, her father got shocked. Wait a minute, he didn't call 911. So police was telling to her father that, hey, somebody called 911 to specific locations. And after they call 911, they had also provided us some kind of descriptions of a kidnapper vehicles. And as a result of that, most of the police officer from that surrounding areas is coming toward to these locations. And father got super duper angry whenever he heard this thing. So he called up his wife first, then his daughter. And his daughter, obviously, she's a child, and she would definitely just deny those accusations. And after, ultimately, once they track down the phone number, they track down the cellular IP address, then it came toward to the phone which her daughter was having. And then eventually they had to put her into a juvenile prisons. That means the prisons which is for specifically the people who are under 18 years old. So that is the reason we should not make fun of each other. And once I will finish up those other tasks, I'm pretty much sure I will oh man, do the live stream right now doing it. But again, before even started cooking, I will do the live stream again, learn the Arabic and Spanish because that's the things that I would like to learn. Well, and wait, what? Learn Arabic and Spanish. I will be learning that from the Duolingo. And get married. Okay. Build 20 apps. Building an apps. This is also another of the goals. High quality videos. Travel US and nope. Anyway, let me just end the live stream because it's like 10 minutes of me coming on the live streams. And before started cookings, I will come on the live streams. Maybe should I come or should I not? Let me think. Uh, maybe not. I will see. Because the main goal is to just try to finish up the task as soon as possible and then eventually start the work for the day. Because yesterday whenever I came home I couldn't able to play the Roblox is because I was super duper sleep deprivations, which means I didn't sleep enough that my whole body was not tolerating. So eventually went to the bed very early and then wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning. Once I wake up at 1 a.m., walk around, submitted one of the applications. Once submission was done, then I decided, you know what, instead of playing Roblox, go back to the bed because next day I had other things that need to be done. For example, doing the laundry. Past 1 week, I was telling myself, today I'm going to do the laundry, but I was not doing it because I was so busy with two jobs. So that is the reasons. Long story short, let me just end the stream right now. And after ending the streams, then what? Just go to one of the park, do some exercise. Doing the exercise is done, come and do some shopping for the cooking stuff, and then do also study for the cybersecurity related. And whenever doing the cybersecurity related stuff, just give a full focus. Even if somebody called me up, bam, hell no, not responding to their calls. Um, let's end the stream here, and I will catch up into the next streams. Hopefully, I would come on the live streams whenever I will be cooking because today's plan was simple. I told my roommates that, hey, dude, I'm gonna make the pulse and you're gonna make beef curry because the pulse which he made, he just completely makes the two different pulse combined together, like moong dal as well as mashuri dal. And for me, I feel that if you mix up two pulse together, it destroys the whole taste. So that is the reasons I decided, you know what, just keep one pulse, moong dal, and make it my own unique ways. Eventually, he's gonna make his beef curries, and beef curries it take too much amount of times. So let me just end the stream from here, and I will go and do some exercise. Once the exercise is done, then then I will follow the other goals. And eventually, at the end of the day, before going to bed, I will also play some Roblox. So stay tuned. We will gonna play together.